Alright, we are here today checking out a completely free-to-play little banger by the name of My Girlfriend Doesn't Know What I'm Into. Now, I'm pretty sure this is something that a lot of us battle with when it comes to our significant others. How do you express certain things to individuals? The one thing I will say about this one is do not let the title fool you. That day, I opened my locker and found a letter inside. It smelled like strawberries and was written in cute, dotted pink paper. Is this a love letter? No way. I had only seen things like this happen in dramas and movies. I've always been looking at you from afar. I began to like you from the moment we first met, and I can't keep my feelings hidden anymore. Please come to the big cherry tree after class. I want to tell you how I feel. Whoa, could this be a prank? Nobody's ever confessed to me before. It's a short and sweet message, yet I think I can feel this person's feelings. Should I go see them? I decided that it would be disingenuous to ignore it. That person must have gathered a lot of courage to be able to put their feelings into words. They knew they could get rejected, but they still put the letter in my locker. I want to at least give them a proper answer. Where are they? The handwriting looked like a girl's, but I don't see anyone under the cherry blossom tree. Nothing. Maybe this really was a... Excuse me. Falcon, you came. I think I've seen this girl around school. She's the cute underclassman who transferred here recently. But I've never talked to her before. Were you the one who put this in my locker? Yeah, it was me. I'm very sorry for bothering you after school like this. I know we've never interacted before, so this might, well... I can't lie about my feelings anymore. I like you. I've always liked you. Please go out with me. Saying that, she bowed. I stared at her in shock. I was overwhelmed, both by the confession and the fact that such a cute girl had feelings for me. Wait. Most importantly, I didn't know anything about her. What's your name? She widened her eyes. Oh no, I messed up, didn't I? I didn't even introduce myself properly. It's okay. Well, let's start from the beginning. My name is Falcon. What's yours? I'm Mafuyu. Mafuyu? I don't know what to say. If I can be honest with you, I've never dated anyone before. Really? But you're so cool and nice and good looking. Uh-huh. I've always thought so, because on the way to school I can't take my eyes off of you. You're so gentle with everyone who talks to you, it's magnetic. Thank you. Now, I was the one getting embarrassed, and nobody's ever said something like that to me before. She seemed like a nice person. Even though we had just met, I liked her honestly. And most importantly, she was cute. Can I hear your answer, Falcon? The words left my mouth in a way that felt natural to me. Like, this was supposed to happen. Sure. I'll go out with you, Mafuyu. Please take care of me from now on. Then, Mafuyu looked straight at me. Thank you. I'm so happy. and smiled.
I'll be in your care, Falcon.
That's how I met my girlfriend. My very, very cute and shy girlfriend. It's been a few weeks since then. Mafuyu and I walk home from school together every day. We've been getting along well, and I've been thinking of asking her out on an actual date this weekend. I'm feeling a bit nervous about it. What if she doesn't want to? It's just like me to be anxious about.
Yo, Falcon.
Huh?
Why are you standing around soaking? That's so like you.
Good morning to you too, Rika. This is my best friend, Rika. We were practically raised together. I tried calling you so we could walk to school together, but your phone was off.
Huh? No, it's not.
Rika grabbed her phone from her bag and realized that it wasn't on.
Oh, oops.
I can't believe you still have that doll trinket.
My parents said I always have to keep it with me. That's thanks to how heavy the doll is. I always notice right away when I forget my phone.
That's Rika for you.
Come on, let's go. Chop chop.
I haven't told her about Mafuyu yet. I wonder if they would get along. Wait for me, Rika. When we arrived at school, someone began to whistle at us. Hey, it's Rika and Falcon! Oh no, not again. So, have you two tied the knot yet?
What? What are you talking about?
Knock it off, dude. Oh, come on. You two are always together. Everyone says you're like a married couple. We're just friends. How many times do I have to say that?
Right. Me and Falcon are only really good friends.
Yep. Well, if you say so. But I still don't believe you.
Hey.
Saying that, her classmate ran away, giggling. Jeez, does he have to do this every day?
I know, right? It's annoying how everyone thinks we're going out.
I thought I heard Rika say something, but I couldn't tell over the chatter of the students around us. Shoot, we're gonna be late. Come on, let's go.
Mafuyu, are you okay?
Huh?
Oh, it's nothing. You've been a bit weird lately. Is something wrong? It's nothing.
After the class ended, I waited for Mafuyu at the usual spot. I wonder if she'd like to go on a date. Kept thinking about places we could go together. I've never felt like this about another person before.
Falcon, I'm sorry I'm late.
No, it's no trouble at all, Mafuyu. I just got here myself.
I'm glad. I look forward to this set time of the day every day. It's a bit embarrassing, but it's how I feel.
Oh. It's spring, so why is it so hot here now? Me too. I want to spend more time.
Yo, Falcon! Can I borrow your notes from... Oh? Who's this?
Darn it, Rika. Rika, this is Mafuyu.
Hi. Cool, I didn't know you had friends other than me, Falcon.
Hey now.
You're all grown up.
Rika grinned joyfully.
Anyway, sorry for interrupting. It's just that I slept through all of history class, so...
I'll text you my annotations later.
Rat. Thanks, Falcon. Bye, Mafuyu.
Oh, there she goes. Sorry about that.
It's okay.
Mafuyu and I walked home together. It was just the two of us on the street. I decided that now was a good time to suggest a date. Mafuyu?
Yes, Falcon?
Oh, here it goes. Do you have anything to do this weekend?
I plan on staying home. Why?
I was wondering if you'd
like to watch a movie with me? This weekend, that is. Maybe Sunday? I love to. Really? I'll pick a good movie for us to watch then. Any movie would be fine for me, as long as I can watch it with you, Falcon. Mafuyu said, looking down at her feet shyly. So cute. Could you text me your address? I'll pick you up and we can go to the movies together. That'd be so sweet of you, Falcon. I'll text you right away. My parents aren't in town this week, but they told me I have to be home by 7 p.m.
That's okay. We can go early. I'm looking forward to this weekend.
Me too.
We walked the rest of the way together and eventually went our separate ways. There are romance, action, suspense, comedy movies. Oh, what if I pick something she doesn't like? It would ruin the mood, wouldn't it? When I get in my head like this, it's tough to stop. My thinking began to go in circles until I somehow concluded that if I picked the wrong movie, Mafuyu would break up with me. I know it doesn't make any sense, but I couldn't stop thinking about it. Okay, I have to stop. I'll think about this tomorrow. What if I ask someone for help? Rika knows a ton about movies. I need to get some sleep. Tomorrow, I'll see what I can do. Oh, I had a really bad night's sleep. I hope I can pay attention to class properly. The sound of the rain might lull me to sleep. Falcon, you're alone today. That's unusual. Rika and I always together, you know. These jokes are getting on my nerves now that I'm dating Mafuyu. Huh? Move away, please. I sat on my desk and waited for class to begin. Everyone began to come in, and we waited for the teacher to arrive. But he was late. And so was Rika. She must have overslept, so I messaged her. The classroom's door opened and the teacher came in. Everyone, sit down. But still no sign of Rika. This is weird. Did something happen to her? Before we begin, there is something I need to ask you. We just received the news that Rika didn't come home from school yesterday. Has anyone heard from her? Huh? Rika?
Now that I think about it, her desk is empty. Didn't she come to school with Falcon?
If anyone has any information on her whereabouts, please let a teacher know.
Has she gone missing? Maybe a strange man offered her candy and kidnapped her.
Hey, that's not funny. What? Missing? If she didn't go home, she left before me yesterday afternoon, didn't she? Rika. Her parents must be worried sick. Everyone, please calm down. I can't pay attention to a class like this. I'm worried about Rika. I want to stop at her house and ask her parents what happened. Oh, where's Mafuyu? I sent Mafuyu a message asking if she'd mind if I walked home by myself today, but she didn't reply. Still no sign of Mafuyu.
Hey, aren't you the person who's always waiting for Mafuyu here?
Me? I guess.
She didn't tell you that she didn't come to class today?
What? Mafuyu too?
To be honest, I've been a bit worried about her. She's living alone right now, and I think she might be having trouble.
Mafuyu and Rika, what does this mean? I'm worried about both of them. Rika's too nice for her own good. And Mafuyu, she usually replies to my texts right away. This isn't normal of her. And she lives alone. So she didn't come home yesterday either. No one would call the school about it. I need to know if Mafuyu's okay.
Yeah, I think that's for the best. See you.
Mafuyu's friend turned to leave, but she stopped and turned again to look at me.
Mafuyu and you... No, never mind. She'll tell us when she's ready to. Take care of her.
Then she left. I'll call my mom and let her know I'll be taking a detour on my way home. Then I'll try to find out about Rika. I arrived at the address Mafuyu sent me yesterday. I think this is the place. I rang the doorbell. No one came. Nothing. Mafuyu? I moved my hand to knock on the door. But it was already open. I ran inside. Mafuyu? Mafuyu, are you there? All the lights were turned off and the rooms I tried to open were empty. Hello? Mafuyu? No matter how much I called her name, only silence answered my calls. Mafuyu! What if something happened to her, and no one was here to help her? As panic began to set on my mind, I noticed that there was something in the ground. This is Rika's doll. It's the gift I got her from the dollar store when we were kids. She always had it on her phone. She's never taken it off since then. Why would Rika be? I reached down and grabbed the doll. It doesn't make any sense. Rika and Mafuyu don't even know each other before yesterday. Why would Rika come here? Unless... No, that can't be. As I leaned down to examine the doll, I realized that there was something different about one of the floor tiles. What? This is the basement. And...
Falcon?
What the... Mafuyu, what... What are you doing here with all this? I pinched my nose as a terrible smell began to infiltrate my nostrils. It was most likely coming from the various trash bags in the corner of the room.
Why are you here? You weren't supposed to be here.
I was worried because you wouldn't respond to my text and... My eyes widened once I realized I was stepping on something. I took a step away and glanced down. Then... the dots, finally, began to connect. What I had stepped on was... Mafuyu, you... It couldn't be. My mind went there, yes. But it couldn't possibly be the truth. Mafuyu. Inside these bags... Is it... Mafuyu. Tell me, is it Rika?
Yes. It's too late to pretend otherwise. I cut Rika up into pieces, and I took out her organs one by one. All the blood that came out when I did it made a huge mess of my uniform. Now I'm covered in her putrid liquids, and her parts are decomposing in these trash bags. Why? My question made Mafuyu smile. Because I love you, Falcon. My mind struggled to understand what was happening. Mafuyu really did this? The shy and stuttering Mafuyu that walked home with me every day. She did this. You grotesquely murdered and cut apart my best friend? Because you love me? Yeah. I love you. I love you so much. I'll get rid of anyone who might get in the way of our destiny together, Falcon. I love you, 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 I love you! I love you so much! I can't stop smiling whenever I think of you calling my name again. I can't sleep at night because I can't help but stare at the pictures I took of you and imagine all we could do together. And the thought of anyone thinking you belong to Rika makes me so mad. So very, very mad. Because I love you. I love you, I love you, I love you, I love you, I love you! She's... Mafuyu is... She's smiling from ear to ear. Mafuyu, You killed Rika, my best friend. You cut her into pieces because you love me? That's just... That's so hot. Huh? I've never been more attracted to a person before. Wait, what? Mafuyu. I've been keeping a secret from you too. That's impossible. I know everything there is to know about you. No? Oh, there's something I never told a single soul about. Not even Rika. I began to smile. Gore really turns me on. I felt my smile getting wider and wider, and a sense of unadulterated happiness rushed through me. I have always really been into the grotesque and serial killers and such. I even run a page in the dark web dedicated to real-life gore images and videos. What? So this is just... I opened my arms wide at Mafuyu's splendid work. This is the greatest gift I've ever received. Wait, what? Mafuyu was caught off guard by my words. I don't... That wasn't the reaction I was expecting, but... Falcon? You really think so? Yeah. Mafuyu, I've never told anyone about this before. I've been keeping my interests a secret from everyone around me because I thought it would creep them out and make them hate me. No. I would never do that to you, Falcon. I love you just the way you are. Mafuyu. If your likes are weird, then I'm even weirder. The moment Rika began to scream for her life as my knife cut her stomach open, I had so much fun. It almost compared to the fun I have watching you. God, that's really hot. Falcon, I was right. We were made for each other. Our fates are intertwined. I love you so much, Falcon. Mafuyu, I love you too. We're the perfect match. Let's be together forever, just the way we are.
And so we have arrived to our first ending, a match made in hell. Now, in case you're wondering, are there more endings? Yes, there's actually about 5 or 6 different endings if I read this correctly. Now, you're probably confused as to how that happens because, as you saw, we went from point A to point B without making a single choice. That was a developer choice because they want to know the actual backdrop of the story. On following playthroughs, that is when the choices become available, which lead us to different branching paths altogether. So here's what I'll leave up to you guys. If you enjoyed it, would like me to take another crack at this, see about the other endings, do let me know in the comments, and we'll definitely come back for more. Otherwise, as I've mentioned, completely free to play game. Definitely check it out on your own time to support the developer. I have a link for you down below. I'll catch you next time.